is June 14th, and we would like to call the Victoria County Municipal Council session to order. The agenda has been circulated. We have one addition to the agenda, and that is that we will be going in camera after the last item on the agenda. So are there any other additions or deletions to the agenda this evening? Hearing neither, can we have a motion to approve the agenda with the noted addition for tonight's council meeting, please?
I move we approve the agenda.
Thank you. I've got Councillor Organ has approved it, and I think it was probably seconded by Councillor Longwell. So you're ringing in at the same time, so I'll give you equal billing on that one. So the agenda has been approved with noted addition, and we're going to open our council session tonight. Just for those that are joining us, we have a shorter council meeting tonight. We do not have any presentations this evening. However, we did have meetings today at 3 o'clock, 4 and 4:30 with two public meetings. So having said that, we're going to proceed with our council meeting. We have approved the agenda. The next item up is the approval of minutes from our last council meeting. Those minutes have been circulated to you. You've had an opportunity to review those. Are there any errors or omissions in those minutes? We are good. Can we have a motion to accept the minutes, I believe, from the date of May 14th? Yes, Councillor McDonald.
I was going to make a motion to.
Oh, thank you very much. You want to approve those minutes? Thank you. Do we have a seconder for that, please?
I'll second.
Second by the Deputy Warden. All in favor? Contrary minded? Motion is carried. The minutes are approved. Just any business arising, old business, I'll turn it over to the CAO for any old business that is coming forward from those minutes.
Yeah, I just have a couple of things. We've done some messaging on our website related to the heavy garbage postponement. Just to let you know, I'm hearing or realizing that there are some people who are putting some things out for heavy garbage. We are hoping that council and our Facebook posts and our messaging can get to them that we are not having it until September. There's a lot of work to get ready for that. We have to rent U-Hauls. We have to get our staff up and running. We have to have staff at the transfer station. The summer is a really hard time to be doing that. We're having a hard time getting applicants for casual positions to fill in while staff would be out doing this. So just remind your residents that it will be happening later in the fall, or it will be happening in the fall. And if they have anything out there, please take it and hold on to it until then. We will gladly take it when we're doing our heavy garbage in September or October. Just to let everyone know, we raised the pride flag this morning at 9:30. And that link is now going to be available on our website for the raising of that. We are also looking, there's been a lot of comments related to littering. We are starting to realize that it's locals maybe that are getting in the habit of this and not tourists, since we haven't had tourists around for the last while. So we're looking at a couple of initiatives, either trash cans to be placed around the municipality if we can get some funding for it, or maybe we're going to be looking at another initiative where we give garbage bags or something for a car garbage bag, so that you can hold on to your trash and throw it away when you get to a receptacle for it. So we're looking into some alternatives related to that. And we're also hoping to be part of some kind of province-wide trash cleanup initiative, because we're realizing that it's not only people within this municipality, it's happening across the province. It's becoming an issue. Just to let you know that Irving has responded, and they're related to the concerns that we had with Irving and with the location and with the things that have been happening there. They only seem to be concerned with meeting to discuss the current work that has been completed. So we're going to maybe try a couple of different approaches related to that. I've asked for a couple of things from them for some reports that they have, and testing or quality control of what the work is that they've done. So I'm in contact with Irving, but that's as far that we have gotten right now. So they're not really interested in having a public meeting at this time, but I'm still contacting them related to that. So that's what I have for old business.
Thank you very much, Leanne. And are any of the councillors have any questions or old business or questions or comments for the CAO, please? Councillor McNeil.
Yeah, I just want to bring it forward because I am getting a lot of phone calls from residents within District 1 about heavy garbage, and I know a few cottage goers have put their heavy garbage out because we are so close to CBRM. I was just wondering if it could be looked at, but you gave an explanation on why. And it's hard to get employees to come at this time on such short notice. So
it is, and another part of it is we're concerned with the health and safety related to our employees. Getting into this time of the year, it's really warm, really hot, and there could be heat exhaustion that we're not wanting our staff to be out there, coupled with COVID also being in the same vehicle doing this.
Yeah,
so unfortunately,
it just puts maybe it puts Fraser in the same situation,
Yeah.
being so close to CBRM, and they put out their date as June 21st. So
yeah, and we apologize, but I mean, we made the decision. We're keeping it at the fall. So
right now it looks like September.
September, early October, something like that. Yeah. We didn't set a date because we're just not 100% sure, but it will be September or October.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Any other questions or comments? Councillor Patterson.
Just following Councilor McNeil, I haven't received any phone calls or anything, but traditionally people that do live near the boundary with CBRM sometimes don't know what municipality they're in, and the garbage goes out. I haven't noticed any yet, but I'll keep an eye out for it to see how it goes. And especially the summer people too, you know, they're still using black bags as far as I know, because they haven't realized that we have a different set of rules than CBRM.
And another concern that we have is all this heavy garbage out around the trail. It's not a good look. So during tourist season, we don't want that to be happening. So encourage your residents to hold on to it, and we'll take it in September, October.
Thank you very much. Are there any other questions or comments for the CAO this evening? Okay, just bear with me 1 minute. I've lost my schedule or my agenda. Too many screens open.
So the next one, Warden, is new business.
Thank you very much. Any new business? Your report, please. Thank you, Leanne.
Okay. I'm just raring to go here, I guess. So I just want to let you know some of the things that are happening around the municipality with some of our departments. So our senior safety officer was a panelist on at our AMANS conference this week. Did a good job on discussing COVID success stories that we have related to seniors getting their groceries with the initiative that we have with the fire departments. So it was something that was thought of that was kind of innovative. So it was brought forward. She's also looking for some other funding options for the newsletter, and she's going to be discussing that at the Senior Safety Program board meeting, which is later in June to be having, which the board can discuss different ways of looking for fundraising for that. She's also working on a resource database for our website. And what she said is, what she's noticing is some one-on-one calls seem to be happening. There's probably a couple one-on-one calls a week where word must be getting out that we have a senior safety officer and people are starting to feel comfortable enough to make one-on-one phone calls about issues that they might be having. So that's a good thing. Tomorrow, June 14th, is also World Elder Abuse Awareness Day. So everyone is aware of that. Related to our finance department, Amy has been working, we have to get a new sick valuation actuarial report done this year. We have to get one every 3 years. So she is look for some tenders related to that. Complex and specialized work, but we got she's working some year-end reports. We're also looking to take the next step to do tax collection position down north and setting up a small office for a part-time position down there. And we'll be putting out an ad for hiring of a tax collection position, tax and water collection position down there. And then she's also going to be visiting the Highland Manor once restrictions ease, to get in there for visiting down at the Highland Manor in the accounting department down there. Lydia in Recreation and Active Living. She's been working hard on trails meetings and making progress with trails, several different trails groups. She's also working on placemaking projects, and her and Dan together are planning summer sessions around the county and looking at funding options related to that. I think I mentioned at the last council session that she has a step challenge, and I quoted wrong that it's ongoing. It's not going to be happening until July 1st. There'll be messaging going out related to that. So the step challenge will be starting July 1st. Today, she took the Moby mats down to Parks and delivered them down there. And tomorrow there will be, I think Parks is doing an article on it. So we're really excited for getting them out there and getting them used. And I think there's some local people who are really excited to have those Moby mats there. So there's going to be a good news story coming out related to that. So be ready to see that in the next little bit. And also kind of interesting, HRM, the Halifax Regional Municipality, has contacted our recreation department, probably a lot of Cape Breton recreation departments, looking for some guidance on rural recreation programming. So they're not only just related to the city, they have rural rec also. So that was kind of neat, I thought. Related to public works, so we're monitoring the fish plant water usage daily. We're not wanting to have any community issues with loss of water or shortages of water down there. So we're monitoring that daily. They also sent out 30 yellow cards for water customers down there last month, and have collected on 29 of those. So a yellow card goes on if we're having a problem with, or if your bill may have gotten a little out of hand. We sent out 30, we collected on 29. So pretty good collection efforts. You may have noticed some big trucks on the roads. We're hauling our C&D from Dingwall to Bedeque. So you might see that, those things happening on the road. Our North Reuse building, we're having a bit of trouble finding some materials to go in there for the reuse building. So we're encouraging residents to, if they have anything that's gently used, doesn't deserve going to the their end of life just yet, could go to a worthwhile cause at the reuse center. There's also applications that will be going out for community groups to be running it down there, same way that the Bedeque one is. So please consider donating. Our Bedeque Reuse Center should be opening this weekend. Question for council, because we had groups that got put on hold because of COVID. If you'll remember, we had a list that we did up for the different names that came in, and there was a draw at council for each month that each group would get 4 weeks or that month. Because there was a stall because of COVID, things that we couldn't control. Some of those groups have now been, they may not have gotten their time. Interested in what council would like to do with that. Options might be where we reduce the amount of weeks that each group on the go forward has, so that we could get those groups who lost out on their time. Or another option is that we just start from where we're at in June and go on a go forward basis. But what that will do is there's one group who missed out in May that wouldn't have had their 4 weeks there. So looking for options from you folks on what we should do there related to that.
It's only one group. How many groups? It's only May.
Yeah, so there's
Really?
one group who was there that had 1 week and then it got shut down. And then, so there's a short time span there where there's another group who missed out on having any of their time there. I think the easiest thing to do would be to contact all the groups and divide up the weeks that are left between all the remaining groups, but that's just my opinion. I think that you're probably going to hear calls on it no matter which way we go. So you may as well have some voice into it.
I think maybe
So-
just short the weeks, no?
Shorten the weeks.
Sorry, I'm sorry, you broke up there, Councillor McLeod.
Short the weeks, give it to everybody, but just instead of 4 Saturdays, maybe make it 2 or 3.
Okay,
So if, perhaps one thing we could do, I think that's what Councillor McLeod is suggesting, instead of a month, give them 3 weeks, and reduce it 25%. Would that give everybody 3 weeks? And
I believe
then
so.
that-
Yeah.
does that sound reasonable to most folks? And hopefully the organizations will be in agreement. So
Okay.
we'll reduce it by 25%, and the people that missed out will get an opportunity to operate the reuse facility.
Okay, great.
Great, thank
And then
you.
also to let you know that the Enviro depots, this week, they'll be removing the pre-count. Up until this point, you had to drop your bottles off and have them pre-counted. So we're removing the pre-count. So you can drop your bottles off and not have to have that function in there, or that you didn't have to count them yourself.
Okay.
In tourism, Dan's department, he's also been meeting on trails and making progress. Him and the trails team had a great meeting with Steve at TIR. And they also had a great meeting with those in charge of the archaeological study and making good progress on that. So working well. We seem to be feeling like we're getting some our feet on the ground there. He is looking to check in with the tourism operators over the next little bit, because there's been major changes, as everyone knows, related to COVID. It's been changing quickly over the last little bit, and it will on Wednesday, hopefully, if things open up. So he's looking to meet up with those. Also, he sat in on the Bedeque Waterfront Committee and said that they're making great progress with that project there. He's also working on website upkeep. And getting things put on there so that our residents know that that's the place to go to find anything. Couple of other things that are going on. Our washroom expression of interest is open until June 17th. I've received, I believe, 3 applications so far. So if there's anyone who is interested, please get your applications in. We'll be scheduling another bylaw meeting to discuss the local improvement bylaw, but it'll probably be after we meet with Emily Pond, who will be coming to our next council session to talk about hopefully a new tool that we can have for bylaw development. Also, our calendar is being updated regularly on our website. Encourage everyone, if there's anything that you're looking for, look on our website for in the calendar for any documents. That's where they're going to start to be placed. 2 motions I'm going to need tonight, I think. One is for, I sent you some documents related to an intermunicipal agreement related to an IT project that we're working on. And I am hoping that you would have read it, looked it over, and I'm hoping that we can get, or we can go by my recommendation on there to approve the intermunicipal agreement, creating the Municipal Technology Services Association.
Thank you very much. You're looking for that motion right now. So just before we go to the motion, were there any questions on the intermunicipal agreement for the IT project? Okay, no questions. So do we have a councillor prepared to make the motion to approve our participation in the interim municipal agreement for this IT project.
I make that a motion.
Thank you, Councillor McNeil. Do we have a seconder for that motion, please?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. All in favor? Contrary minded, the motion is carried. So you can proceed with that intermunicipal agreement. Leanne, please.
Great, that's great. We're really excited for this to get our IT, get some well-needed IT support. Next, I need a motion for our application for PCAP funding. We have two projects that we're looking to put forward in a PCAP funding application. First priority would be for backup generators for a cost through the municipal water systems that we have. Total cost of $135,000. Our funding request is for half of that, of $67,500. And our second priority on that would be for development of Little Narrows well. The cost on that one is $25,000 and we're requesting $12,500 related to that one. So I need a motion to put forward for sending in the PCAP application.
We need a motion to approve the application for those PCAP fundings, the total $67,500. And
The motion.
thank you,
I
Councillor.
make a motion that we inputs in the application for PCAP funding.
Thank you very much. You were kind of breaking up a little bit on me there, Barb, but I got that. And that is in the amount of approximately $80,000. Thank you for doing that. Do we have a second for that, please?
Second.
Seconded by Councillor McLeod. All in favor? Contrary minded? Motion is carried and hopefully we'll be successful receiving
Fingers
those funds.
crossed. Yep.
Yep.
And that's all I
And-
have. Thank you.
Perhaps just for anybody that may be PCAP funding, if you would just explain exactly what PCAP is.
Provincial Capital Assistance Program.
Program, exactly so. And it's provincial funding that's available and you apply for it and hopefully we'll be successful in receiving. Thank you very much. Is there any questions, comments for the CAO in regards to her report this evening under new business? We have a scheduled 10-minute recess.
Another
since,
item,
I'm sorry.
Gordon?
Yes, sir.
There's another small item of new business. I received notification today that the Federation of Canadian Municipalities, the FCM, is putting out looking for applications for their committees. And they want them by June 25th. So I don't think we'll be meeting before that. I served on a couple of committees last year, as people know. I think that they were very interesting, and I did bring information back to council on what was going on federally. I think this year, heading into a federal election, there'll be a greater activity from the FCM, and I would like to ask council's permission to apply for some FCM committees.
Oh, thank you for putting your name forward. And would somebody like to make a motion to recommend Councillor Patterson continue with his work in the FCM and on the committees that he has applied for?
I'll move that one.
Thank you, Councillor McDonald. I'm not sure, was that seconded by the Deputy Warden or vice versa?
Vice versa.
Okay, it's been moved by the Deputy Warden, seconded by Councillor McDonald. All in favor? Contrary minded? And thank you, Councillor Patterson. for
Thank you,
putting your name
council, for your
forward.
support.
Oh,
I noticed
good job.
Councilor McNeil didn't move or second it. It was two Leaf fans that did it. Thank you.
No problem, and we won't capture that in the minutes, but it is duly noted, if you know what I mean. So, okay, we have a scheduled recess for 10 minutes. I think in fairness, we had a taxation presentation at 3 o'clock. We had a public hearing at 4 and again at 4:30. So I think it would be convenient for us to take a quick 10-minute break. It is 5:40. We'll reconvene at 5:50. Thank you.
Great speech, Perla.
Thank you, Val.
So are we all back? I think
I believe so. Yep.
1, 2. Okay, thank you very much. And on a side note, Jackie, I have that information that you asked me about. If you want to give me a call after council, I have it. Yep. So we're going to move on. The next item up for discussion at council tonight, the next item up in the agenda is the taxation update. So I'm assuming, Leanne, you're going to provide that?
Correct? Yep.
Yep.
So as of today, June 14th, our total outstanding is 658,000, which is 263,000 less than it was at this time last year. The balance or the makeup of that 658,000 is 295,000 in current and 364,000 in arrears. Our prepayment of tax, which means the people who have paid for this year's taxes that we're going to be doing our tax bills for, is $389,000 at this point. So we're already 389 to the good for this year's taxes that we'll be sending out soon. We have, since our last tax session, we have collected $44,483. We have new tax bills that will be sent out in the very near future. We have a list of tax sale properties that's going to be published in the Cape Breton Post on June 19th. The tax sale date is July 20th, and this is a tender tax sale. And I believe from our presentation earlier today, there was about 40 properties that we have on the tax sale list that we will be putting in the post. And we will be scheduling, hopefully by October 19th, we will be able to have a public auction for our tax sales. And there are already some properties that are arranged to go to public auction tax sale. So that's what I have for tax update.
Thank you very much. Any questions for CAO in regards to taxation report this evening? Thank you for that. And earlier today at 3 o'clock, we had a taxation presentation that was provided by our tax director, our CFO, and Leanne. We want to thank you very much for that. It was most informative. We are trending in the right direction, I think, with the path forward that was provided with us today. Certainly we are going in the direction the council wants to go in, and that's appreciated by council. And we just want to thank you and your staff for providing that, please. The next item up for discussion is TIR concerns. We're going to start with district number 8. Please, Councillor McDonald.
Yes, thank you, Warden. Just a few this evening for District 8. One is in regard to the turnoff that goes down to from St. Mary's Village by the co-op store that heads in towards Capstick area. There's a major drop of the pavement there. It's been brought up numerous times. I was just wondering if that's something we could stress to have TIR have a look at that. I've been getting calls from residents, and there's a couple of near car accidents there in the past week, because what they're doing, they're driving to avoid the hole. And when they're coming down, there's a blind spot there, and they make the turn. Coming down from Bay Road Valley, it's not possible to see the car that's coming up out of Capstick area. So if we could get a rush on that one. I'm just wondering in regard to when we had our TIR meeting with Steve, was there not supposed to be a RIM project sent out to all the councillors of what was to be done in each district? Is that still something that we're going to be receiving?
We haven't received it yet. If indeed he was, perhaps we'll ask CAO to contact Steve and ask him to send that out as soon as possible. Good point. Thank you for bringing that up.
Because I would think that that's probably within the boundaries of having that issue done, because it was brought up last year and they said it was going to be taken care of this spring. And just looking at another concern in regards to the brush cutter coming. Has it entered the county as of yet, or is that something that's going to be, because last year, take note, it never did come to the county, period. So if we get stressed that it's something.
Just wondering, Norman, if you have contacted Steve on these items?
The previous one numerous times. The first one in regard to the turn down,
Yeah.
numerous times on that. It just keeps getting shoveled back and back, but it's a concern that has to be taken care of. So I mean, I'll contact him again, I'll email, but it's something that we have to get moving on it if they would. That's the point I'm trying to make, right? They're bringing it up for several councils now, so. And with the brush cutter, like I said last year, I don't believe it even came into the county. In some parts, maybe over in District 1 if it came, but I know District 8 never seen a brush cutter in the area. And also lastly, for TIR receiving calls in regard to the access road that goes down to Dingwall Beach. It's a frequented area that people use immensely, especially with COVID times, for mental health, getting out, walking, exercising, using the beach. The road, honestly, is a disgrace. The grader was down to the area, and the grader did a great job in all the roads, but for some reason that road was left out. Just wonder maybe if that could be something that could be looked upon when the grader comes back sooner than later. And that is it for District 8 for TIR this evening. Orton.
Thank you, sir. We're going to go to Councillor Organ, please, District number 7.
Oh, I just got a short list I sent to Steve and I forwarded to Stephanie to have in their minutes, and he's taken care of a few items. They were filling alongside the road on Ocean View here, but I did send him another list, and that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you very much. Appreciate your report. Deputy Warden Daphne, District 6.
Yes, thank you, Warden. First of all, I want to thank Department of Transportation. They finally did fix the erosion around the Cabot Trail just south of the English Marina here. So it's great seeing that done. It was definitely a dangerous area, and the work has been completed. As far as brush cutting, Councillor McDonald, I think maybe I stole it from you last year. I did have him here in Ingonish. We did get a little bit done, but we could get lots more. We will be calling, especially in relation to McCrow's subdivision. It's really getting grown in, but I'll mention again to Steve in my conversations that you're also looking for it also. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. We're going to District number 5, Councillor Patterson.
Thank you, Warden. Just one quick thing. I'm not sure if last meeting I had received some complaints about the grading on the south side Boulder Road. Since then, they revisited it, and we got an email from a resident saying they were pleased with the work that was done. So that's it.
Thank you very much. And we'll go to District number 4, Councillor Longville.
Well, I have a big problem. The Reco sign is missing.
That is an issue.
So, yes, so I would like TIR to put it back. And also I was wondering if it would be possible to get a hidden driveway sign put at the Reco Power project, because there is heavier than usual traffic going on there. There's a huge project going on, and there's a lot of traffic in and out. And really, when you come from north and you're coming up, it's really, you don't see it. It's a blind crest there. And one more signage issue was the Cabot Trail sign that's at the entrance by the St. Anne's Motel and the Lobster Galley. underneath, like it's a beautiful sign says like, you know, welcome to the Cabot Trail. And then there's a website address. Well, that website address doesn't work at all. Like it no longer exists, the website that's on there. So it would be good to get that changed. And the other part of, I had something else on that sign, but it's more of district concern. So I'll bring it up then.
And Barb, just wondering if you contacted Steve on those items?
No, I will be sending Steve an email on those.
Okay.
Barb, if I could, I didn't have a chance to send you a quick note this afternoon just because of the schedule we had today. I received a note just in regards to the Trans-Canada Highway just past the Big Harbor turnoff. That gypsum hole is where the asphalt is starting to disintegrate again, and it's really, people are hitting it, and it's, maybe if you would just add that to your list as well.
I will, and thank you for bringing it up because I totally forgot and it knocked the muffler off my funky van the other day.
Yep. And I've gone over it. Yeah.
It's bad. I've hit it with my new car too, wondering if maybe I blew a tire because you hit really hard on that spot. So I will add it to the list I send to Steve.
Yeah, thanks.
That's all
No,
my
it is becoming worse, and you're right, people are hitting it, and it's somebody's gonna, anyway, thank you. All right, thank you for your TIR concerns.
I
Yeah,
had
go
one
ahead.
more question. And
Sure.
this was for Perla. Actually, Perla might know where the 1 kilometer on Big Farm Road is going to be. Do you know where the 1 kilometer of paving is going to happen?
No, not yet. They just give us, you remember the meeting? He said the 1 kilometer didn't have exactly the location, but it's going to be just 1 kilometer. Yeah, not yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks, Barb. Thank you. District number 2, please.
Nothing at this moment. Everything is reported, Steve. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor. Appreciate that. District number 1, by chance, any TIR concerns in the Iona Washabuck Peninsula?
Actually, I'd like to thank TIR and Steve and Mark for the work done on the St. Columba and Barra Glen roads, and also thank them for the road being built up down to South Cove too. That work was done. Like Councillor McDonald, we need the brush cutter over here and mowing done along the sides of the road. So if Councillor Daphne could spare for a little while this summer, maybe we could get something done over here too. And I'll contact Steve with all those issues too. Thank you.
Thank you very much. District number 3, the only issue, and I sent it on to Steve McDonald earlier, was we're looking to get the sidewalks painted in the village. They have a little later done this year. However, we've seen increased traffic and there's been a couple of near misses. So I had mentioned that I would bring that forward to council and also bring it to his attention, and I have brought to his attention as well. Okay, thank you very much. We're going to move on to, is there any motions or notice of motions this evening? Barb, do you have one? Councillor Londa?
I do. I'd like to make a motion to give $1,000 of my budget to SABDA for the time bank.
Okay. We have a seconder for that. Oh, sorry.
Okay. Okay, I have another one after this one.
Okay, do you want to save it for district concerns or do you want to do it now?
Yeah, I'll do it whenever is proper to do it.
Okay, we'll do the $1,000 one now, and we'll do the other one under district concerns. Okay, so we need a seconder to help Barb spend $1,000 for SABDA. Seconded by Councillor McDonald, had his hand up. All in favor? Contrary minded, motion's carried. And your second motion I'll get to in district concerns.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. We're going to move on actually to district concerns and start with district number 1, please.
Yes, thank you, Warden. Actually, I'd like to make a motion to take $1,000 out of my district budget to SEPI as part of a study on recreational fishing in and around the Brador. Destination Cape Breton is also involved with this project.
We have a seconder for that, please.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. All in favor? Contrary minded? Motion's carried. Thank you, Councillor.
I'd also like to thank Charlene Ellis and her grade 10 CBL class for cleaning up the roadside garbage from Rankin School of the Naris to the port in Iona. They collected 8 full bags of garbage and 1 blue bag, mostly liquor cans and bottles, and that's disturbing in itself. But it's only about not even a kilometer area, so like they did a great job. Also, a thank you to individuals in the district too for cleaning up along the sides of the road too. We appreciate all the work everybody's been doing to keep the area clean. Thank you.
Thank you. Going to move to district number 2.
Thank you, Warren. We have the safeguard money for the graduations for the high schools, but they're not going to do a graduation this year. They approached me, will be okay if council is okay with give the safeguard towards the graduation. If they have any way to fundraise money for everything. So I just wonder if couldn't use the safeguard money. Every year we send.
Yeah, in previous years, we have provided funding for Safegrad. I'm not sure if we've done it in the last couple, but I think we allocated a certain amount of money to each of the high schools to support that program.
Okay, but they want to use it for the graduation ceremony. So I wonder if it's okay.
What are thoughts on council? We okay with that?
Okay here.
We good? Anybody? I guess I should ask if anybody is opposed. So do you recall the amount that we allocated to each of those schools?
I think it was 1,000, no?
$1,000, I think. So that would be for all 3 high schools.
We'll look it up to see what was done in the past. And
okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
and if it is, can you just send it to the school and just to with a note days for the graduation ceremony, because they're not going to do safeguard this year. So.
Yeah, we can do that. And I guess what we would do is just if you want to put in a form of motion that we will provide.
Motion, if we can use the safeguard money for the graduations for the high schools in the county.
Okay, in light of COVID this year. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We have a seconder for that, please.
Second it.
Sorry, I saw Councillor McNeil had his hand up. All in favor? Contrary minded, motion is carried. Anything else, Councillor McLeod?
Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. District number 4, Councillor Longley, you had a motion?
Yes, I'd like to make another motion to give $1,000 to the Crowdis Mountain Fund.
Okay, is that the snowmobile?
For their new groomer.
Groomer, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. Do we have a seconder for that?
The new groomer.
To the new groomer? We have a seconder for that, please.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. All in favor? Contrary minded, motion is carried. Thank you, Councillor. Any other district concerns?
Yeah, I had well, if I want to give money to someone, but it's less than 1,000, I don't have to make a motion at council. Is that correct? Or
no, you don't have to. 1,000 above requires a motion.
Okay. So back to the Cabot Trail sign, which is located kind of on the property, I guess, of the highway and also the St. Anne's Motel. And the people at the St. Anne's Motel, Tina Emmy and Vincent Sabler, they just bought that place. But because they didn't own it in 2019, they have been unable to get any of the funding, COVID funding available to businesses. So they've been hit pretty hard. And then the sign that's there that's was put up has a flower bed in it, and that's not looking very good. And I spoke with them earlier today, and they wondered if there was any money available to, if someone would put, if the county would put money in to make that look better, and they would do the work.
Probably I'd refer that to Leanne. Maybe one of the departments has something that they could apply through, but I'll let you comment on
can
And
that.
also, if anybody knows about any funding that could be available to them, just because they're a new
businesses.
business, and they are, if anyone knows of any funding that maybe they'd be able to get in under. Yeah, and then the other thing was
we're not able to fund private businesses.
Yeah,
You're
but the
breaking up.
sign, the Cabot Trail
So we're
sign-
unable to fund private business.
Okay, but don't we, who owns the Cabot Trail, the big, it's a giant Cabot Trail sign that's placed in a flower bed that's not being kept up by anyone?
Is it a highway sign or a community sign?
I don't know that. I really don't know. It's a huge big sign that says Cabot Trail, like on it, welcome to the Cabot Trail. And then underneath it is a flower bed that doesn't look very good.
Yeah, I would perhaps if you can find out
So there
whose
are,
it is.
yeah.
Can't hear you.
Yeah,
Sorry,
there's
Leanne, you're cutting
TIR, Cabot Trail sign.
Okay. It's the TIR. Should I ask them about it?
You may want to check with Destination Cape Breton too, Barb. I believe it was Destination Cape Breton, but it did something with the province at the time to up those major signs on the Cabot Trail.
Okay. And then my last one was the one I had brought up earlier, the 36 Meadow Road with the playground. And so I should have, like, I'll send the information to Amy, I guess, to look into it. But you had a suggestion, Leanne, was that he should get in touch with a lawyer?
This is for the Sabda property?
No,
Is
this
that what
is,
that's for?
no, it's.
That was earlier for the,
The one I brought up earlier, nobody
for the
owns this. Yeah, the 1/8 of an
yeah,
acre.
so, right. So I would suggest that that group contact their lawyer. So to take the steps forward, because if that comes to us as a request, our lawyer is going to say, please have their lawyer contact us, if that's something that we can even do. I'm not sure if it is or not, but they should contact their lawyer to have their lawyer contact us about what exactly it is that they're looking for.
Okay. Yeah, it's a private individual that would like to do it. He's one of the people that started the community garden.
So as a private individual, he should contact his lawyer.
Okay. And then I had a question about where is the zero waste management study that was done. Is that published anywhere? Like we had she did a presentation to us.
She
Laurel
did, yeah.
did. But is it published anywhere where everybody can read it?
I don't believe it's online yet, but we can make that available. Yep, for sure.
Awesome. Thank you very much. That's it for me today.
Okay, thank you, Councillor. Appreciate it. District number 5, please. Councillor Patrick.
Thank you, Warden. The sun is shining. The flies aren't too bad. Everything is perfect. Just I'm going to change the name to Shangri-La, I think. Nothing from District 5 today, anyway.
Thank you. You're doing a good job, sir. District number 6, Deputy Warden Daphne.
Yes, thank you, Warden. Just 2 quick things. I'd like to make a motion that $500 from the district budget be provided to the Highland Manor for staff appreciation. I'll make that a motion.
Have a seconder for that, please?
I second.
Second.
Second by Councillor McNeil, all in favor? Contrary minded, motion is carried. And it just Barb or Councillor Longa, anything over $1,000 is required as a motion, but any amount that you wish to, if you want to put it as a motion, you can still put it in the minutes. But if it's over $1,000, it's required, but you can still put it through as a motion, even if it's not up to 1,000. That way it's captured in the minutes. So if you have a request, people know that you've requested the money and it's coming, just as the deputy warden has done. So just to clarify. So sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you, Deputy Warden.
Thank you,
Oh.
Warden.
No problem at all. Second thing is, I'd just like to thank council. Last Tuesday, council had a meeting with the Minister of Environment and Minister of Lands and Forests in regards to the Ingonish River Wildlife Protected Area that's proposed. I think we had a very good meeting. I think they clearly understood our concerns with that protected area, and let's just hope that we get a favorable response back from them. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. And you certainly represented the views of your residents very well at that meeting. So well done. I'm going to move up to Councillor Organ.
District 7 was pretty quiet, but I did have one call and I'm working on it with the help of our warden, and hopefully the information we pass on will rectify their problem. We hope.
I hope. Yeah.
And that's it all. That's all I have.
All right. I hope so too. Thank you very much for that, Jackie. And we're going to District number 8, Councillor McDonald.
Yes, thank you, Warden. Just one this evening. I had a call from a gentleman in Capstick area in regard to internet service with fiber op. And he was a little bit dissatisfied to find out that they would not be getting fiber op service at this time. But according to a developed website and Bell's coverage map, Capstick was included in the Dingwall project. And the last civic address was 2521 Meat Cove Road that was to be completed. And anything after that in the scope expansion was to be done, I believe, in 2023. I was just wondering if there's a reason we could find for those group of folks that didn't get fiber op hooked up in that area, because according to the developing the maps, they were supposed to have that installed. And Seaside is presently servicing those areas, and it's just atrocious, the service from Seaside. So if we could have maybe
I'll see what I'll see what I can find out, Norman.
yeah, because anything I'm getting is just saying hooked up by 2023. So
Right. Yeah, I saw that today too. I'll see if I can reach out to develop and find out.
yeah, other than that, I just want to send in a congratulations to the Cabot High School graduates of 2021 and commend them for their great success throughout Cabot High, and wish them the best in the future endeavors. And that's it for District 8, sir.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. District number 3, no motions per se. I just wanted to remind council that we did send around a proclamation today. We had the raising of the pride flag today. That proclamation is there. You had a chance to review it. We need a motion to accept that proclamation and offer it on behalf of the municipality. So we need a motion for that, please.
I move that we accept that proclamation.
Thank you. And do we have a seconder, please?
Second.
Thank you, Councillor McLeod. All in favor?
Aye.
Contrary minded? And I'm not going to read the proclamation, but certainly it is representative of the thoughts and of this council, and I want to commend you for participation in that. The second,
Can we put,
sorry.
sorry, can
Go
we
ahead.
put that in the minutes, or the proclamation just said in the minutes? The text?
Sure.
Can we
Yeah,
put it up?
we get,
Thanks.
yeah. We'll put the actual text of the, yeah, and it'll also go on our website as well. And Facebook, yeah, absolutely. So it's a great way to promote that we are an inclusive and municipality. The other thing I just want to mention very quickly, I want to just mention Lyle Donovan as our fire services officer. He's done a great job going around to the different fire departments with different counselors, the warden, deputy warden. And we just have a couple of fire departments left. So if your fire department has not had their representatives receive their 25-year medals from the municipality, please contact your fire chief and see if we can make arrangements. I think we're down to maybe 3. And with that, Lyle and I, as you know, we had a good opportunity to go down to Ross's Ferry last week, and one of the recipients was Councillor Patterson. So in the minutes, we want to reflect and thank you for your service, or 25 years of, and at least 25 years, if not longer, service to your local fire department. So thank you for doing that, Fraser. I think that covers my district concerns. And again, I'm just going to double check my agenda here. We have bylaws that we had 2 public hearings today. The first hearing was on the PACE bylaw. The second reading was approved at that public hearing, and we need a motion to accept the results of that public hearing, so that we approve the second reading.
So moved.
Thank you, Deputy Warden. Do we have a seconder for that, please?
Second.
Seconded by Councillor MacLeod. All in favor? Contrary minded? That recommendation from the public hearing has been approved. Our second public hearing was in regards to the community standards. Second hearing was conducted, or I'm sorry, the hearing was conducted, and we were not prepared at this time to approve the second reading. So we need a motion that we not approve the second reading of the community standards bylaw, and we'll be reviewing that bylaw at a later date. So if
Yeah,
you have a motion,
I'll make that a motion.
sorry. We get,
We'll be bringing
just,
that
I'll make
forward at
that-
a later date.
sorry, I got 2 conversations going. Leanne first and then Councillor McNeil.
Sorry, Paul. We'll be bringing it forward at a later date.
Exactly, yeah. And we will be meeting with the province at the end of June to review
And-
the policy process as it affects the municipalities and other municipalities as well. So Councillor McNeil, sorry. It's painful
I'll
to
make that a
acknowledge.
motion.
Thank you. It's painful to acknowledge you with your,
Warden, I'd like to report a member of council in violation of the dress code.
I
Notice you
thought
won't
you were
stand up
supposed
and
to be
show the whole
wearing
thing.
that, Fraser. I thought you were supposed to have that on.
Yeah, that's true. I am.
his time is coming. And Councillor McNeil is not going to let that opportunity go by, I can assure you. So it's been moved by Councillor McNeil that we not approve the second reading of the community standards bylaw. We need a seconder for that, please.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Councillor Longva. All in favor? It's good to see the Montreal supporters are supporting each other in council as well. Any correspondence this evening?
All correspondence has been sent to all council.
Okay, thank you very much. And I may have erred earlier when I referenced the minutes we approved were from May 14th. They were actually approved from May 28th or 9th. I'm not sure the exact date, but I stand corrected on that.
I think it was May
Um,
31st.
May 31st. I wasn't even, I knew it was, yeah, my apologies. I was looking at July. So if you would correct that or just note that correction. Our next council meeting is, we're just wanted to check with council. It is July, or
June 28th.
June 28th. And in July, I want to mention, do we want to go with 1 meeting or 2? We can
We
go
have-
with 1, and if required, we can have a committee of the whole. So if we're good, we'll schedule July, and I think we have the date selected. I'm not going to say a date because I've already been wrong on my dates. So we
We
will
do-
go with one
We do.
meeting
It's
until
July, it's July
July
26th.
26th. I would have been right. And we go with one meeting in August as well.
Yes.
And what is that date?
That date is August. Just let me find it here. I believe it's the 23rd, August 23rd.
Okay, so those are our dates, June 28th, July 26th, and August 28th, I think.
23rd.
23rd, so close. In the event that we have to meet as a council, we can always have a committee of the whole meeting. So are we good with those dates for the summer? Is there any other business to come to council this evening before we go in camera? Okay, I need a motion to move in camera.
So moved.
Thank you, Councillor. We have a seconder, please.
I'll second. Excuse me.
Thank
I'll
you,
second.
Councillor. Thank you, Councillor Jackie. And the reason we're going in camera is financial. And so we are going to close out. Just before I do leave, I want to check with Garrett or Dan. Was there any questions or comments from anybody in the public this evening?
I heard from Dan that there is nothing at this time. From the public.
Nothing at this time. Okay, we would ask that the moderator's responsibility now be turned over to Leanne, and that all staff and public would be dismissed from this portion of the meeting.